Oh, this is my channel and my name is Sig. Today I will be showing you how to do the star stitch pattern. It's really simple. The first thing you're going to need to do is chain an odd number of chains. So, for example, I have chained 45 chains as my foundation stitches. However, you can choose to do any size that you want, any number that you want, so long as it's an odd number and it's at least greater than 5 chain stitches. So to begin, we have our odd number stitches. And I'm going to start by putting my hook into the second chain from the hook, and I'm going to pull up some yarn. I'm going to stick my hook into the third chain and yarn over and pull up. In the fourth chain, yarn over and pull up. And then again in the fifth chain, yarn over and pull up. And then I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull that yarn all the way through. And I will have begun my star pattern. So next I'm going to chain. And I'm going to begin the process all over again. Except this time I'm going to put my hook through the center of the star, yarn over and pull that yarn through. And then I'm going to put my hook through the leg of the star, this closest leg to the opening part of the star. And I'm going to yarn over and pull through. Then I'm going to put my hook into this chain stitch, yarn over and pull through. And then I'm going to do it 2 more times. So I'm going to do it in the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then the following stitch after that, yarn over and pull through. So this is the loop that was already on my hook, and I'm going to do a pull through 5 times. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull my hook through again. And then I'm going to make a chain. Okay, so now I'm going to pull the loop through 5 times. So I'm going to put my hook through the center of the star, yarn over and pull my loop through the first leg of that star. That's a little tight, but we'll get it. Okay, yarn over and pull through the stitch, the first bottom stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then through the next stitches after that, the next chain stitches. So yarn over and pull through and yarn over and pull through. So we've pulled through 5 times and we should have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over and I'm going to pull that all the way through. I'm going to chain 1 and we're going to start the process all over again. So you can see the beginning part of the star. And we're going to go through and going to finish this row. And then I'll show you how to turn the piece. Okay, so now we've come to the end. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm then going to do a double crochet into that last stitch, only because I want to have a nice clean edge. Just like so. And then I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn my work. And then I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each center of each star. So it'll look like this. And then I'm going to actually do a single crochet here in this side stitch, because there again I want my edges to be straight, because I'm actually going to use this swatch in a sampler afghan. Okay, so we've completed this side, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to turn my work. So you can see the complete star, the star shape. And again, we're going to go as before. So when I get to that next row, I'll go ahead and show you how I changed the colors in order to get that striped look. And at the end, I'm going to do my double crochet, so I have a nice clean edge. And then I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then in each center of a star, I'm going to put 2 single crochets. And my last 2 single crochets in the center of the star, and then a single crochet into that last stitch there on the edge. Okay, so I'm going to do it just like that. So now, as you can see, we have 4 rows of crochet, and which gives us the appearance of 2 rows of stars. It's a nice textured stitch. It's lovely and adds a lot of interest to a piece. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back around, and we're going to change colors, because this, after all, is the Stars and Stripes crochet pattern. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my ecru, and I'm going to go ahead and make a kind of slip knot. And I'm going to tighten up that slip knot, but I'm going to pull this through just like that. So instead of following through this single crochet with the mustard loop, I'm actually going to use this opportunity to make my color transition. And this makes a lovely smooth color transition when you save the last step of finishing a stitch with the new color. So this I'm going to use and make my chain, and then I'm going to turn. And because I'm just using the 2 colors, as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and just leave this mustard here. And what I will do is I will end up just working it in along the edge, because once I sew this swatch next to the next swatch that I'll be having or using in the afghan, all of this is going to go away. It's going to hide it when I stitch over it and as I sew it to the next one. So I'm not terribly worried about any awkward edging that might result as a result of not cutting this off and weaving it in separately. In the long run, I'm going to save myself a step, well, a lot of steps, and then I'm also going to actually make a cleaner looking piece. Okay, so we've got the single crochet, Oh, and I guess I should have given a couple more because this is going to be the start of a new star. And again, I'm going to begin my star pattern. And as my way, I typically start weaving in the loose ends as I crochet. So I sort of get them all into one, sort of get it all done at one time. I'm not really a big fan of having to sit there and weave in each end if this is going to work just fine for me. And we got the beginning of our second star. And let's just move right on through. Okay. And we're going to do this last little star here. And I'm going to do a double crochet in this last side stitch. So I can make a nice straight edge. And then I'm going to crochet one chain. And then, as with the previous other back rows, we're going to do 2 single crochets in the center of each star. Okay, and again, I do 2 more rows in the back, and then I'll show you how I change the color to the yellow. Okay, so now we're getting ready to change over to the next color. And like I said, I didn't feel it necessary to trim this off and weave it into the yellow because this particular swatch that I'm making is actually going to have a border. So by the time I put the border around this, all of this is going to disappear and basically a self-weaving, if you like. So as I've said before, I want to use my next color in the last kind of step of the last chain. So I need to do a single crochet into that side stitch there. And with my first color, I'm going to pull up the loop as I normally would with a single crochet, but instead of yarning over with the original color, I am going to yarn over with my new color, and that will start me off in a nice flawless transition into my new color. And then I'm going to continue as before. So I'm going to make my 3 turning chain stitches, because this is where I'm going to start my next star transition. And I'm going to move this out of the way because we'll weave that in when we get back to the next color change. And I will show you what that looks like here in just a second. And voila, and we are beginning again. So none of this right here on the edge again, that will disappear when I get in the border that I'm going to trim out this swatch with when I'm there. And you can kind of see where we're going with those stripes. So this is the stars and stripes pattern. Thank you for joining me today. If you found value in this video, please support my channel by hitting the subscribe and like buttons. Also, if you want to stay up on the latest content that I release, just go ahead and tap that bell icon so that you can be notified whenever anything new is available. So with all that said, I would like to thank you for being with me here today and wish you a most crafty day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.